Well, hello lads, I welcome you all to a new series. Now, today, we will do something a bit special, and that is play a different visual novel. Today, we shall play The Fruit of Grisaia. Now, let's get right into it, shall we? Intense sunlight blazes down on the road as if to declare the arrival of summer. The burning asphalt radiates heat, mixing with the scent of the tide to form a thick, muggy atmosphere. When the weather is clear in summer like this, you get guys who lose their heads in the heat. And I might just change a bit of the sound. Also, uh, we will not have voice acting because during some scenes it would end badly, very badly. Oh, great start. I'll wait for the 9 seconds to pass so I can actually say this, just in case. Sexual assaults, robberies, all the way up to homicides. I don't have time to list the variety of crimes committed by morons with baked brains. As a result, at times like these, the police inevitably get very wary about suspicious types. It was about 10 minutes ago that I realized I'd been mistaken for one of those heat-stroke adult sorts. Name: Kazami Yuuji. Address: Osaka in Yamanashi Prefecture. Sweat pouring from his forehead as he examines my license. The policeman in front of me takes a glance at the large backpack I'm carrying and continues the background check. You came here from Yamanashi? Yes. What business do you have in this city? Why are you lugging around that enormous bag? You had it anywhere in particular? I told you this 10 minutes ago. I'm moving. This luggage is everything I own. So, what's your new address? Like I said, I don't have one yet. The answer's not going to change no matter how many times you ask. You're moving, but you don't know where to? Look, where are you hiding? What about you? What about you? Bloody hell, I get a tree. How about you just come clean already? Where did you come from? Where are you going? Where are you planning to do there? Depending on the context, these could be fairly philosophical questions. But as far as police inquiries go, they're pretty run of the mill. From their perspective, anyone wandering around without clear-cut business is by default a criminal of some sort. Let alone someone like me, carrying around conspicuous, bulky luggage. It's as good as guaranteed that they'd stop me. That is their job, I suppose. Since this little scene acts as a crime deterrent though, through its visibility, it's not an entirely wasted effort, but unfortunately, I don't have all day to play along. I drop a glance towards the digital watch I'm wearing around my left wrist. Sorry, but I'm keeping someone waiting. I really can't spare any more time for hanging out with bored cops. Are you mocking me? A border police force is proof that the city is at peace. Take it as a compliment. Inexplicably taking offense at my tone, the policeman clicks his tongue in irritation and tosses my license back. Alright then, Kazami-san. Sorry for the inconvenience, but would you mind letting me take a look at that bag you're carrying? I refuse. Why, something you don't want me to see in there? Knife, maybe? I don't rely on blades. Policy of mine. Look, are you really telling me to unpack all this on the spot? It'll take an hour at least. 30 minutes just to take it all out, 30 minutes to stuff it back in. In that case, let's head over to the police station. No reason to stand around in the sun, right? I'll get you some cold tea and we can have a nice long chat. I just told you I don't have the time. I can't accept voluntary questioning. I know you can't just back down in this situation, but if I say I'll head over there myself later, could we wrap this up for now? It's very convenient for you. But what guarantee do I have you'll ever show? At least give me an address if you want me to agree to that. As I explained, I'm in the middle of a move. I vacated my old place, so I don't have an address. Then give me your parents' address, or are they homeless too? I don't have any parents. No siblings or relatives either. They're all dead. You serious? Are you sure you're not hiding something from me? This is going nowhere. Okay, so why don't we move things along? To the station, maybe? I'll call a patrol car. You just stay where you are, please. At least let me call the person I'm supposed to be meeting. At this rate, they'll be waiting all day. That's fine, but who are you meeting, a friend? I'm not going to tell you that. Someone you can't tell me about? It's your mother. We had an appointment at a hotel tonight. What? I was keeping quiet out of the goodness of my heart. You dragged it out of me, so don't blame me when your parents get divorced and your happy home is shattered. You watch your mouth. Okay, I don't have a good woman voice. Huh? Thank you, game. About 30 meters away from where we're talking, someone screams. A desperate cry follows within seconds. body! A woman sits collapsed on the street, stretching out her hand. Her high heels lie on the ground, knocked off her feet by the sudden fall. Just about halfway between us, there is a man in a flush Hawaiian shirt, rank in this direction. Shit, a cop! Although the thief flinches for a moment at the sight of the policeman's uniform, after a quick trip for any convenient side streets, he barrels onward. Move it, asshole! Brandishing the stolen bag menacingly, his hand violently gestures out of my way. Huh? Stop right there! The cop is completely flustered. He's quite clearly unaccustomed to this sort of situation. While he's panicking, the distance between us and the thief shrinks with surprising swiftness. Out of the way! The man runs in a straight line towards a breakthrough to freedom. I happen to be standing directly in the middle of its path. I said move, damn it! As he prepares to strike with the bag, I ascertain the movement of his shoulder, and ran from the first signs of motion, and hit his wrist sharply just as he begins to swing. The man's arm instantly stiffens and loses all momentum, his eyes pop wide open in shock. I immediately grab the collar of the Hawaiian shirt he's wearing, and firmly draw him toward me. Before the man can offer resistance to my pull, I smoothly reverse and use my body weight to shove against him. When pushed just as they began to brace themselves against being pulled, and now expecting a genuine expert is going to be... Except a genuine expert is going to be thrown off balance. Nice shirt, where'd you buy it? Shock spreads across the man's face as his knees buckle against his belt. I try to gain a chokeout using my grip on the neck of his shirt, but... The man promptly draws his head back and shifts his body to the side, preventing me from landing a hold on his deck. Bloody hell, I cannot speak! And I expected as much from a glance at his belt. It seems like he's somewhat experienced in judo, but... In this case, you would have been better off trying a decisive tackle. Rotating around the purse snatcher in the opposite direction of his slide, I yank his right arm up for it with both hands in one movement. I've circled to his back. Next, pull back on the opponent's wrist and elbow and pin him to the ground. This is just basic Aikido, by the way. Fucking asshole! Get off! I'll fucking kill you! Hey now, you've got your priorities all wrong. Before worrying about me, you should kill the guy who sold you that shirt. Goddamn kid! Perhaps unconsciously, the man's now empty left hand desperately slaps at the asphalt. While holding the thief pinned, I quickly shoot a look behind me. Don't just stand there! Yeah! The policeman jerks up straight in response to my angry shout, taking a pair of handcuffs from the pouch around his waist. He runs over to restrain the criminal. The purse snatcher seems to have resigned himself to his fate and doesn't offer any pointless resistance. He accepts his red-handed arrest for theft docilely, then sits quietly on the ground with his hand hung as the policeman radios for backup. Apparently they weren't too far off as the siren approaches in no time. Two policemen get out of the arriving cruiser and push the criminal into the back seat. As I'm quietly watching the scene in perfect passivity, the policeman from earlier runs over. Thank you for your cooperation in the arrest. I'll pass on the letter of thanks, so how about letting me move on? We can do that, I'm afraid. If possible, we'd like to have a detailed conversation at the station regarding both this incident and the previous matter. I figured as much. Shaking my head in exasperation, I silently rebuke myself. Should have just left it alone. As the policeman pushes at my back, I glance at my wristwatch and reminds me that I'm already 5 minutes late for my meeting. Look, you're about ready to talk yet? 30 minutes have passed since I was brought to the interrogation room. Familiar as the place where criminals break into flop sweat. Even TV dramas I cannot read. I'm sitting on a cheap foldable pipe chair, my arms folded, in perfect silence. How are we supposed to let you go if you don't respond to our questions? Aren't you supposed to meet someone? Shouldn't you just talking at the sour? Instead of responding, I close my eyes, a silent statement indicating that I have absolutely no intention of opening my mouth. The detective clicks his tongue in expiration at my attitude. I've got a pretty fair idea of what he'll be doing next. If you don't have anything to hide, talk! How long do you plan on remaining silent? The sound of something being struck, and an even louder attempt at intimidation. This is the point where a timid guy would be jumping in his seat with his eyes wide open, or maybe staring at the floor and quivering. As for me, my eyes are still shut and my arms are still folded quietly. My mind is a total blank. Yeah. I've been accustomed to adults shouting at me like this since I was a child. Following the threat stage, the next step would be for him to grip my hand and jolt me back and forth, but I'm dealing with an official authority group here. I should get off without direct violence this time. Not to say that they won't pull out the old TV cliches and harass me by shining a desk lamp in my eyes, or something of the sort. I can roughly translate detective side. Goddamn kids these days. I gently open my eyes in order to sneak a look at his disgusted face. The detective sitting in front of me seems to be challenging the Guinness World Record for the most dramatic asymmetry between the left and right sides of a human mouth. Or maybe he's just scowling. When I let out a snort of laughter in response to an unexpectedly pleasant sight, the detective scratches his head violently and glares at me. Look, buddy, I don't know who you've been talking to, but playing dumb with the police isn't going to gain you anything, alright? It won't gain you anything, but you won't lose anything either, except your time. I turn my gaze to the clock on the wall of the sweat box, and now it has already passed since the scheduled time for my meeting. And what you respond when I'm speaking to? The detective strikes this with excellent comedic timing. The best part is the way he knocks his ashtray off the table every time he does this. What the hell is your deal? His tone distinctly fed up, he stoops down to pick up the plastic tray off the ground. Kazami Yuuji, occupation, student. Yes, you've said that already. Many times we looked it up. You came from Yamaha, right? No criminal background, no traffic violations or juvenile custody records, no commendations in public record either. What kind of a person has absolutely no data in the system? The record is so clean it looks like someone's been writing it out. Just who the hell are you? Kazami Yuuji, occupation, student. What's with that? Did someone tell you to only say that line if the police caught you? Are some sort of terrorist or what? Kazami Yuuji, occupation, student. Shut up! Just shut up! The ashtray again fell. First it's say something. Now it's shut up. Talk about hard to please. The capricious detective scowls it again and scratches his head. Flakes of dandruff drift grandly through the air. Based on his throughout wrinkled suit and heavy stubble, I'd say he hasn't been home in days. Look. Cut me a break here. Put yourself in my shoes for a second. Another sigh. It's enough to make me want to heave one myself. Because we both take our work seriously, it seems like we're stuck going around in circles. We sure picked up a real pain in the ass this time. This investigation of that personature case isn't going smoothly either. Thanks so much for dropping that on our lap, by the way. Just as we roughly complete this exchange of one-sided bitterness and mutual glaring, there is a well-timed knock at the door, and the sound of it being unlocked. Yeah, hello, sir. A slightly plump elderly detective enters the room. In the respectful tone of the detective I've been shooting with, he's probably a superior of some sort. It's something that... Oh, well, huh? After a quick glance in my direction, the elderly detective whispers something to the younger man's ear. Before long, the angry detective turns towards me with a decisively nonplussed expression. You're being released, it seems. Thank you for your cooperation. Why now, all of a sudden? You're asking the wrong guy. Bye. With those parting words, the young detective leaves the room. The elderly detective watches him go and then faces me with a greasy smile. Well, sorry about all that, Kazami-san. It seems we hadn't received any report on our end, and we were only just now placed in contact with your guarantor. The detective stares at me with eyes like that fish. As an employee of Ichigaya, if you'd simply said as much, if you'd known I was from Ichigaya from the start, wouldn't have you thrown me in jail, stripped me naked, and sprayed me down with a hose? You're quite the kidder. Did you forget that we belong to the unparalleled Sakura Damon? We're all friends here. Just to let you know, I'm nothing but a student. My work at Ichigaya is on my part-time cleaning job. Cleaning, is it? I see. That's well put, just as I expect from a collection of eggheads. Oh, dear God, why was there black screen? I was a bit afraid that my GPU died. Thankfully, very fine. Bloody hell. In response to my words, the detective twists his mouth into something vaguely resembling a smile. But really now, if you'd simply informed us a little earlier about the circumstances in your end, well, as I'm sure you know, the higher-ups are what they are. We had quite a mess there for a moment. Sarcasm drifting from every part of his body, the detective treats me with transparently and sincere courtesy. He's perfectly civil on a superficial level, but the atmosphere in here is growing increasingly unpleasant. The angry detective from before, hard as that he was, seems infinitely preferable. Did you inquire to Ichigaya about me? Not quite, you see, we are running her name through our databases. In the middle of the data retrieval, the phone rings. We pick up the receiver and find we have a call from the Minister of Defense's special organization. Ask us, might you be in custody with dog of ours? Well, no, that was quite a surprise. We're not ranking animal shelter here, you know. Since you found my owner and confirmed that my leash is properly attached, I should be able to leave now, right? Yes, just as you please. Oh, that's right. We are also contained by the Prince of the Courier transferring into. That's so. Yes, indeed. Since Aaron showed up, it seems she was putting calls into all the police stations in the area, one after the other. Our chief ended up getting pulled to the phone while he was in the middle of a meeting. He got quite an earful, apparently. Where's my backpack? The luggage we've been holding on to for years in the entranceway, which would be over that way. If you'd like, shall we send you over by car? You're not getting funds from public taxes in order to chauffeur bums like me around Ontario. I'll walk. After I'm rushed out the door by the old man, the young detective appears from the rear, carrying the backpack they take him from earlier. This is ridiculously heavy. What the heck is in this thing? Bit of a tough question, I guess you could say. My life. If that's supposed to be a gang, I won't quit your day job. It wasn't really what I was going for. Well, whatever. Dropping the backpack next to me, the detective lets out a slight sigh. Thanks for lugging it out here. Pretty heavy, isn't it? That's not something you say to a guy who learned judo for work. He might be country police, but we've at least got that much training. Lou, guess that's not here for a policeman. Sorry. There's a face small. SMR, I cannot speak today, bloody hell. Detective smiles wryly. By the way, you're supposed to be a student at Landfall Academy, right? I'm wearing the school uniform, you can see at a glance. Feels more like you've been dressed up in it. He closed my shoulder as we pass each other. Take care, in a lot of ways. With those parting words, he heads back into the police station. Guess I don't make a convincing student yet. I'm wearing a deep blue slacks, a short-sleeved dress shirt, as well as dark red and yellow striped necktie. Excluding my somewhat longish hair, I should be the very image of a student. I guess it's a little difficult turning into something like that all of a sudden. But it's probably precisely because this is difficult that I decided to give it a try. For a while, I myself didn't understand why it asked for this, but now I think I have a faint grasp on the reason. I wanted to become something that I couldn't understand, something that I wasn't. At the moment, I've done nothing but smooth down my edges a bit. Perhaps later on I'll become a student on the inside as well. The sun that I've been climbing upward earlier has now finally reached its zenith. The temperature keeps on rising and sweat oozes from my skin. I was pretty sure she'd pick me up, but... Sensing her presence, I lower my gaze from the sun. My eyes, well accustomed to high contrast lighting, project a human form in silhouette for only the briefest of moments before the details fade in. Thanks for your service! A woman raising awkward salute grinning broadly stands before my eyes. Spare me, I don't want to see a pose like that outside the workplace. In the first place, what's with that dopey salute? The girls in bikinis on the Maritime SDF recruitment posters have more impressive forms. Jeez! And here I am offering my appreciation for your sudden effort. I'm the guy contributing enough to society today to deserve any appreciation. Yes, I do understand that you went through a lot right off the bat, but you could... No, GPU, don't die, thank you. But could you not take it out on me? More importantly, she opens the door of the car, stopped next to her. Get in, accomplishing your objective is the top priority, yes? Yeah, true enough. From Mishima Cape Police Station to National Highway 133 southbound, we proceed to the Prefectural Highway and advance further out toward the Cape. A range of slowly rotating wind turbines come into view, indicating our proximity to the sea. That was Gateway's surprise. You don't show up at the time we agreed, and when I call around trying to figure out, you're predictably being a nuisance to the police. I was halfway convinced you'd collapse somewhere, given the seat. I doubt you really thought I was sick. What grounds do you have for saying that? You're trying the police stations first, not the hospitals. Well, it is your we're talking about, so I figured you'd manage something. If you're about to collapse, but for the record, I was worried about your safety, so maybe you could not pick at the details. Accuracy in weather forecasts and interpersonal communications make society run smoother. You're seriously not cute. Quoting again, she continues her harangue. First of all, there may not be many of them, but the trains do run here, yet for some reason you walk instead. That was also a surprise, walking around with a huge backpack, like you're going to climb the Himalayas or something. Sorry, I hate trains. That doesn't make walking the entire way less bizarre. What's the matter, climbing up like that? Could you not mention this to the other students? I don't want them getting funny ideas about me from the get-go. Yeah, this might well set them on guard. A real weirdo came this time. I get enough of that from the police to last me a while. I cannot speak still. Ah, so you did get questioned. And well, as Yuuji arrives at Mihama Academy, we shall end the episode here. I hope you lads enjoyed. Press like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, and well, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.